Good morning. Welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony show. Carla Marie
morning.
just made it. Like right at the very, very end. Headphones not plugged in though.
Nah.
That's close enough. Oh, I forgot to put the neon light on. So there is not a neon light at the end of the tunnel,
I was.
unfortunately.
I can do it.
You can, but you don't have to. Neon light is for tomorrow. I feel like, one of the things that's been bothering me is anytime you have a straight line in a shot, right, with video or photo,
Yeah.
you really have to make sure that it's balanced. And the TV is like, it's very hard to get that TV to look straight on this camera because of the angles and everything.
That's fair.
But I got to do a better job of that. Good morning. Welcome to the Carla Marie and Anthony show. My name is Anthony.
I almost said I'm Carla Marie. I almost said I'm Anthony. I don't know what my head just did.
And
I'm Carla Marie.
to everyone that we saw over the weekend at Carnival of Cocktails, maybe we saw you last week on Tuesday at the screening
Yep.
of Murder Mystery 2. Thank you. Seeing people and doing so many events around Seattle felt really cool.
Yeah. What's next?
I don't know. I mean, we had 3. We had the movie screening on Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
Then on Thursday we did a panel.
Oh yeah.
And that wasn't necessarily like open to the public, but there were a lot of people that we got to meet.
Mm-hmm.
We did a panel called Bartender's Circle. And then Saturday, we obviously got to do Carnival of Cocktails, which was great to not only meet new people
Yeah.
and explain what the morning show podcast is, but to see a bunch of people that came out.
Yeah. Carnival of Cocktails was so
Mhm.
cool. Like so many people that we've never gotten to meet before. They're like,
Yep.
oh my God, I listen every day. Then we met two, I could call them like these young girls because they were like literally 21 and they were so cool. Claire and Daisy were their names.
Mhm.
And Claire told me she was in her podcast era. So she had binged the morning show podcast like that day, a few episodes, because I think that she found us through Seattle Cocktail Club.
Yeah, we were on their website somewhere.
And she's like, I found you guys and we binged it on the ferry over. And yeah, I'm going to start listening now. And I was like, what? In what world? And she said her podcast era. And I was like, I am here for this.
And we also, there were people who were there from New York,
yes.
who flew in from New York, because Carnival of Cocktails, for those who don't know,
Yeah.
it's not this like little rinky-dink event here in our cute little Pacific Northwest city. It is the largest consumer cocktail event
In the world.
It's in the world,
In the
right? I knew it
world.
was in the country, but in the world.
Seattle Cocktail Week as a whole.
Yeah, it is huge.
Yeah.
And the Carnival of Cocktails it was in 2 different buildings
Mhm.
at the Seattle Center, which if you're not from here, it's the area right under the Space Needle. It's where the
Fountain.
fountain,
Mopop.
all of that stuff is there. It was huge.
Yeah.
So I think it was Jen said we had a pretty good crowd around our table. Every time we played 2-second tunes live,
I've never seen anything like it.
and it wasn't this like polished event. We had tried it for the first time. We were kind of making it up as we
Yeah, we
went.
changed the rules halfway through.
There were times where 100 people were around our area. It was so cool.
It was, I like got home and I was like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah.
And I wore this jacket. So I'm just repeat wearing it because it's a,
Oh,
it's
It's
a
a
rental,
rental?
and I felt like it needed another day.
you got to get your mileage out of it.
Yeah.
But thank you to everyone who showed up. It was a really, really good time. And to all the people over the weekend who messaged us saying they had purchased some 21 Seeds tequila.
We're gonna take a
We
shot.
saw
of it.
you. And I also found out that an old friend of mine actually does their social for 21 Seeds.
That's so weird.
Yeah. Rima, who I grew up with in my church back in Jersey.
We also got to try out the other 2 21 Seeds flavors.
No, I only had one.
Oh, I went there a few times.
They had the third flavor? Oh, I only had the
So
one
they
flavor.
had a spice margarita and the grapefruit hibiscus as a Paloma on
Mhm.
tap, but you could have it straight. So I had the Valencia
Oh, okay.
orange straight.
Yeah, I had it as the Paloma. And the third flavor was the the Valencia orange was the third one that wasn't on tap.
Yes, but
Yes,
you could still taste it.
Okay. Lisa said we tried the grapefruit hibiscus and it was so good. It's good to hear.
And then I saw Gilly Wagons in here, and they said this Monday is rough
I can only imagine.
because they planned the entire event plus 105
Mhm.
other events in 1 week.
And then just loading all of that stuff in, unloading it, organizing it, making sure everyone's got what they need. Kind of crazy. I also saw that Jen just dropped 3 tier 1 subs to the community. Now, I did work on a new tool for the podcast. So if we do kick off a hype train, it should work.
Tones the Tool Man Taylor.
I saw Lisa also gifted 3 subs to the community, so thank both of you very, very much. And Rach at the Beach also subscribed with Prime.
Rach at the beach.
That's what I said.
You said reach at the beach.
No, I said Rach at the Beach. Reach at the Beach is a better name, though. I'll give you that much. Miguel in Miami, Florida, thank you very much for those 5 gifted Tier 1 subs. And I know it may have sounded like I was pandering for a hype train, which I guess technically I was, but I did spend a lot of time working on this thing.
Well, I'm sure we'll hit it again.
So I just want to
point.
see if it works. There it is.
Ooh,
Look at that. There's now a
fancy.
hype train on the screen, which means you don't have to have your chat open to monitor it, and everyone on YouTube can also see it. I did not say reach. Get out of here. You and Martha.
And you also said
Hit
chat.
the road. I did say chap. That I definitely 100% said. So I need to find a better place on the screen for this. I think if I just move it over here and we don't put chats up.
Did that just happen in real time though?
Yeah.
Like, everyone just saw you move it?
Mm-hmm.
I can move things then right now?
You could, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't. It just might look a little weird if you move too many things around. But now that that's here,
I wish
if you subscribe, it should go here with a little alert, and then it'll add to the bar.
Instead of a bar, can it be a train?
There was one that I found that was a train. It looked a little wacky, but I can try putting that together as well.
Okay.
And we'll see which one we like more. The train, it was a lot of movement. So I don't know if we want that or not.
Okay.
So I also saw there was one guy who managed to use an eggplant emote on one side of the hype train, and then when it got all the way to level 5, it would hit the guy's face on the other
We
side.
can make it hit your emoji's face.
We could. Level 4 is complete. Look at that. It updates. It changes color. A lot of things happen on the screen now.
Or it can start in the middle, and people get to vote which side they want the eggplant to smack. Mine or yours.
Okay, well, I haven't seen that one yet, but that would be a lot of fun.
Gillywagon, thank you.
Thank you very much for the 1,000 bits. Other
there
things
was
we're going to
another
talk about today, by the way. The worst person that I have ever seen. And I've seen a lot of people in my life. This person, over the weekend, I haven't even told Carla Marie about this. I want to say without a doubt, was the worst person I have ever come across.
Okay.
In my whole life.
I'm excited.
Blue check blues. A lot of people are upset because blue checks are going away. I know the New York Times, their main account.
The only one that got stripped.
Are they the only ones?
I still have my Twitter blue check
I still have
mark.
mine as well. Well, I guess we don't have to do blue check blues anymore. Because
Miguel,
that was that.
Miguel in Miami, Florida, thank you very much. DJ Synth, thank you very much for the bits. And Kim from Connecticut. Go UConn.
UConn.
I don't know who I'm going to cheer for yet.
I have to cheer for San Diego State University. I can't cheer for UConn to win another title.
That's fair.
They've won 5 titles. That'll be their 5th title in my lifetime.
Okay.
And they're
for San Diego State.
one of Seton Hall's biggest rivals. They also pull recruits from Rutgers as well, so you probably shouldn't like them either.
Okay.
San Diego State, they're no real risk to Seton Hall or Rutgers. And it does hurt me a little bit, though, because Dan Hurley, who is the coach at UConn, played at Seton Hall. So I should be cheering for one of our alumni to win a national championship, just maybe not there, you know? Oh, getting a little loosey-goosey with moving that thing around, huh? And then we're going to stick to Elon for a little bit longer after we talk about the blue checks, but is AI going to ruin the world? Carla Marie talked about this in the Morning Show podcast, and of course, that is available wherever you get your podcast. So, should we wait for the hype train 3 minutes to see if we get there? Because I don't want to start my story, then take a shot. You know what I mean?
Okay.
This is where we should have some Jeopardy music.
Just to sit here and stare at each other? Well, there's something that was on the list I wanted to call you out for, so we can do that here.
Call me out.
You are a thief. I'm not a joke stealer, because we already talked about that. You do steal my jokes. You just say them louder. You're an overall flat out thief now.
What did I do?
Last week, we were at the murder mystery screening, and we were going over things that we were going to say when we got on the mic. And I said, do we have to stick to the script that you guys sent to the people at the movie company, and they were like, no, like, we just wanted you guys to have an idea what the movie was about. I said, okay, I want to ask the people, did you solve the last crime before the Spitzes did in Murder Mystery 1? And they're like, I love that.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Get in there,
Wish I thought of it.
introduce ourselves, say whatever, and this guy says, so I'm just curious, I want to ask a little question here. And I was like, oh, what's he going to ask? Who thinks they solved the crime in the last movie before they did?
It's good. It was a great question. Everyone loved it.
And I went like this.
Yeah. Listen, I felt like in the moment,
He told me I was talking too much.
Carly was getting a little yappy. I needed to jump in there, so I just wanted to move it along, and I knew what she wanted to do, so I moved it in that direction. I had two options. I could have
Listen, as a in-game host for an NFL team, that is so against the law when it comes to being a host for something.
Good thing I'm not an in-game host. I'm an in-theater host. It's totally different. There are no rules in theater hosting.
Yes, there are. You can't yell fire.
It's like the Wild West. Thank you to the anonymous gifter who dropped 10 gifted subs to the community. Thank you. We are now in Hype Train level 7, but anytime we get past level 5,
what's anonymous gifter?
this turns into Papa Shot.
Is that a person?
It just says anonymous gifter gave out 10 community subs.
Maybe it's Elon Musk doesn't want us talking about.
I don't think it is. I don't. It's probably Bezos,
so
though.
we're going to actually try a shot of the 21 Seeds cucumber jalapeno. Yeah, so that's the kind of person Anthony is. I just want everyone to know.
Hey, listen, I'll admit it. I'm not apologizing.
No, you should apologize.
I'm not apologizing.
Well, I'm not telling you. We're not even going to communicate before anything anymore.
Oh, Martha's got her own bottle. She could do a shot with us. I think Jen and Lisa also have a bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, if you've got some 21 Seeds, by all means, go for it.
I don't want to drink all that. I want to save some for Disney night.
When is Disney night?
April 21st.
You know, we could get another bottle.
True.
Jen and Lisa are on the clock. They can't take a shot with us.
But who would know? More subs?
More subs from anonymous gifter. Thank you very much.
Who's an anonymous gifter?
I think the point is they want to stay anonymous. I don't know if we've probably gotten to level 8 before.
No, I think because remember there was like the time where.
Did we ever hit double digits?
I think we did 10 or 11 once. What is Disney night? I'll explain. Hold on. Let me shake.
Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Can you finish the lyric?
Shake your booty?
Is it Shake Your Groove thing? No, that's a different song.
On this guy. No. So.
Yes.
Disney night is what we did at Sam's bachelorette party. I talked about it here after the bachelorette party, but the company is called Be Our Guest, and they travel around kind of like emo night, and they do like 90 to 95% straight up Disney songs. Then the other 5% are like 90s, like TV show theme songs.
Like all that.
Plus like 5 90 songs everyone knows.
Okay.
And they're coming to Seattle. And I've been chatting with them because I'm like, hey guys, like, I think we need to come up on stage when we get there. So.
You're chatting with who?
The people.
Disney?
No, it's not Disney sponsored. The people who play the music.
That's pretty cool.
So what I've decided to do is, since I've never had a housewarming party because I moved here in November 2019 and then COVID hit and whatevs. So all
of our friends left Seattle. A lot of them.
A lot of our coworkers.
Yeah.
I'm going to have all my friends come over before because it doesn't start till 10 p.m. And we're going to have Disney-themed drinks and snacks.
What is the Disney theme? Oh, this is what we talked about when I was drunk, I think, right?
Yeah.
Like the
We're
gray
drunk
stuff?
at the wine walk?
I mean, I was drinking wine. Isn't that the goal of the wine walk?
This much?
Yeah.
You're like
Whatever.
every other man at Carnival of Cocktails that has a thimble of alcohol. So.
Wait, we made it to level 8.
What in the actual?
Thank you to
Everybody.
Jen and Lisa, each gifting an extra community sub to get us over that threshold. So what were some of the Disney snacks that we talked about? because I wasn't really paying attention. I know I said the gray stuff
All right, you
from
wanna,
Beauty and the
you
Beast.
want to take the shot?
Yeah, let's take the shot. Cheers to you, Carla Marie. Cheers to everyone who supported the stream. And cheers to our friends at Seattle Cocktail Club and 21 Seeds for the alcohol.
Mm-mm.
You definitely taste the jalapeno more when it's straight. But it's the taste of the jalapeno, it's not any spicier. You're not finishing the shot, are you? Yes?
It felt so cool. Ooh, that's
It's like-
actually nice.
Yeah, it's like a nice feeling.
I felt like I tasted the cucumber more, which you don't really taste it in the. Okay. Woo. All right. Well, this is gonna be
It wakes you up a little bit.
Pizza Planet Pizza is what Allison said. So what
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
do is I'll just get regular pizza and print out a Pizza Planet logo.
Yeah, that works. That's actually a very good idea. Thank you, Allison.
Oh,
Pizza Planet, of course, from Toy Story. I just want to make sure everyone knows.
What are you gonna? Oh, so anyway, we are all dressing in costume. So my friends Tatum and Lindsay are going as Lizzie McGuire and brunette Lizzie McGuire and her friend, and someone's going as Paolo.
Is Hannah Montana, that's Disney? Or is that Nick?
Yeah,
Because you can go as Hannah Montana and Miley. Like there could be.
that's actually not a bad idea. But we're supposed to be going as Aladdin and Jasmine.
Yeah.
But Hannah Montana ain't a bad idea now. But then what
Go
are you
for
gonna
it.
be?
I could still be Aladdin. I could just be Beast by myself. I could be Aladdin by myself. Doesn't need to be a couple's costume or a paired costume. Another suggestion, by the way, from Fred the Mailman. He said you could have sushi for Finding Nemo or Little Mermaid.
That's not nice.
Some Sebastian, some Nemo, some Dory.
I'm looking for my notes.
All right there on the platter. What note are you looking for? Also,
Okay.
you should probably keep your notes more organized.
Okay. We're thinking something from Frozen. We just wrote Frozen. Beer like Gaston.
Okay, that's a good one.
And then I'm going to have candles like Lumiere. Lumiere? Lumiere. You kept calling him Lumineer. That's what was happening.
I called him Lumiere.
But our friend's mom was calling him Lumineer, and no one wanted to correct her.
Sweeties by V, thank you very much for that gifted tier 1 sub. Appreciate that very, very much. Oh, apples from Snow White. That is a good one. Frozen cocktails, also a good idea for Frozen.
But I'll do like chocolate-covered apples, I think.
Why is as like a dessert?
Mm-hmm.
No one drinks like Gaston. That's the only words of that song that I know.
Yeah, so I
from
think
that
there's
song.
10 of us going.
It's going to be a good time.
Well, I think someone needs to come up with if we can't do Aladdin and Jasmine. My friends were like, "Are you allowed to dress as Jasmine? Is that offensive?" And I was like,
A little bit of appropriation there.
I said, or I think I asked that, and I was like, "Well, I'm not gonna, one of us was like, okay, well, just don't make your face brown." And I
Yeah,
was like,
no-
"Yeah, I'm not gonna do that.
No
Thank
tan
you."
face. Although I guess you do use tanning pads, so
Yeah,
you are
I
kind of
messed
going
up
tan face here.
today.
Moving on, though. We'll talk about Disney Night as we get closer, and obviously after we do that. The worst person I have ever seen. Ever seen. No surprise, it was at the gym.
Okay.
Okay. Carla Marina, you were actually there. We went to the gym on Friday.
Fit couple.
And normally what I do is I will go into the sauna for about 5 minutes, get my body temperature up, especially in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that. And that's like my pre-warm-up, essentially.
Oh, Jen wants to know which gym.
LA Fitness in Ballard. So, and normally I don't like to talk about specific people at the gym, but this person was terrible. Never seen him before. In my entire life, haven't seen him since. But I walked into the sauna, and the saunas aren't huge, but they're supposed to fit about 10 people if everyone sits like a normal human being.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm walking towards it, and there's a big glass door. I noticed that someone is like sitting on the floor, essentially, kneeling or kind of squatting near the floor. I was like, oh man, it's going to be packed in here. So I get in. There are 2 people to my left and 2 people in front of me. Now, the space in front of me should have sat at least 4. But this one guy was sitting sideways, like back against the wall, feet across the seats.
Oh, like along the bench.
Yeah. And kind of like his knees were up a little bit. So It's like, you know what? I'm just going to ask this guy if I can sit, like, kind of in this area where his legs have been laid
Was
out.
he wearing clothes?
Just shorts, which is normal. I mean, most people are either in
I
towel or
wanted
shorts.
to be able to envision.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't naked. So I go up to him, and I'm like, hey, man. Doesn't respond at all. I'm like, oh, maybe he's got headphones in. And I looked, no headphones. Just decided to completely ignore me.
Maybe he was in the middle of a meditation practice.
And I was like, oh, maybe he's deaf. Like, I have no idea. So I said, I'm just going to sit right over here. And he looked up and he goes, whatever. Didn't move his legs. Thankfully, there's a second row of benches. So I sat. I basically had to sit above his legs with my legs over his.
And this,
real weird.
Listen, I just need you to pause for a moment. When people tell me, oh, everyone in Seattle is like so nice here. And I'm like, no, this is because I'm telling you right now, you would never, ever act like that in New Jersey or New York City because you know you'd get punched in the face.
And we'll get to that later because that's not the worst part of this, Carla Marie. Not even close.
Like people here are just, when they speak, that's what they do.
So, but again, I'm not even close to being done with this yet. So you're going to have to wait for all of this.
I'll keep pausing and interjecting.
Yeah, appreciate
Can't
it.
wait.
So I now say, and I'm just annoyed. Okay. Next thing that happens is I start hearing music and noise from his phone. Like, thank God I have headphones because I'm just going to turn it up a little bit more. But right before I turn it up, the older gentleman who's sitting next to me turns and says, hey, man, you mind turning that down?
To you?
No, to the guy,
okay.
To the a-hole laying across the bench. You mind turning that down? And without even hesitation, the guy looks up and goes, you mind saying please? And I said, you know what? Let's see. I hate this guy already. Let's see where this goes. So the older gentleman to my right, says, would you please turn that down out of respect to everybody else?
Turn that effing thing down.
That's not what he said, though. He said, would you please turn that down? It's common courtesy in the sauna.
It is. There's a side.
And he says, say, may you please turn that down? And the guy goes, no, just turn it down. And I'm like, there's going to be a fight in here. This is going to be annoying. But right after that, it just kind of died down. The older guy said nothing. The guy to my left stopped playing music for a little bit. And when I say an older guy, I mean, he full gray hair.
Okay.
But seemed physically capable. I didn't feel like I had to jump in there right away.
Tacoma Swifty had a great question. How old was the douchebag guy?
He could, I want to say late 20s, early 30s. He's an adult.
You have to point him out to me next time we go.
I've never seen him. Other than that moment, it's like he was sent there to fuck up my day.
Were you on that TV show?
Are you, was it, What Would You Do?
Yeah.
Is the name of the TV show. So then the guy to our right. So it goes me, the older guy, and then there's someone who's probably mid-20s to the right of him. The music guy, the a-hole, starts playing songs again. And now the younger person jumps in.
Stepped on his penis.
The younger person jumps in and says, hey, man, it's common courtesy in the sauna to not play music out of your phone if you don't have headphones. And I'll be honest with you, if you play a song, just play the whole thing because you're just playing loops. And it sounded like the guy was editing a TikTok video, which if you've ever edited a reel or a TikTok.
If you're not the one editing it, it's so annoying to listen to.
So the guy says, I don't have to listen to anything you say.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's technically, no, he's not wrong.
But.
And then again, the younger guy in the sauna says, yeah, but it's just a common courtesy. You're not. And now the a-hole jumps in again. Well, I hear a bunch of people playing music in the sauna. It happens all the time. Leave me alone. The guy goes, no, it doesn't happen all the time. People wear headphones in here.
Yeah.
And I've sat back this whole time. I haven't said anything.
Are you bigger, more muscular than this dude?
I was bigger than him, yeah.
Right.
I was just bigger in general. I was probably a little taller than him, probably a little heavier than him. But every time something happens, some sort of point of contention, some friction, I thought to myself, there's going to be a moment where I have to
Someone's gonna get thrown into the hot coals.
Someone's going to stand up and I'm going to have to get up and interject in this. And then out of nowhere, I'd say a minute after that last kind of dust up, the guy just walks out. Thankfully.
Ooh, so what was the conversation like?
Well, I said to both guys, I said, I just want to let you guys know you handled this way better than I would have handled it. Because that guy was unbelievably rude. And it just turned into a conversation about how there's a large group of people now that maybe since the pandemic, since everyone was isolated and didn't have human interaction, just don't know how to act in public anymore.
People are just...
That guy was just a piece of crap. And he was such a piece of crap. And I know you've probably been in a situation like this. He was such a piece of crap that it just stuck with me all day. I was boiling all day. And you alluded to this earlier, Carla Marie. People who act fake tough like that are not from tough places.
No.
They are not real tough, because if you were from a tough place, you would know if you spoke like that, those are not words, those are actions.
Mm-hmm.
If you spoke like that in a tough place, those are actions, and you are confronting someone for a fight.
Okay, then
which is why I do not feel like that man was actually tough or from a tough place.
Are you going to recognize him?
So the only really recognizable thing, unfortunately, is he had his shirt off and he had a full chest tattoo, like shoulder to shoulder chest tattoo.
That doesn't help.
No idea what it was. I think I'd recognize him with a shirt on.
He's
though.
definitely one of those guys that throws weights and doesn't put the weights in the right spot.
Without a doubt.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
I hate this man.
It was, I'm not exaggerating. I've come across a lot of people in my life. A lot of people have rubbed me the wrong way. This guy was the worst. He was a grown man.
I'm fired up, but I wasn't even there.
He was acting like a grown man, or he was a grown man acting like a 12-year-old who just got their phone taken away.
Yeah.
Me. You can't tell me what to do. Say pretty, please.
He's probably Gen Z.
I don't know. No, he was older.
No, because 26.
He was definitely a millennial.
He's older than 26.
He had to be.
This is why people hate our generation.
It was just the worst.
All right, let him come up to me at the gym and I'll punch him in the face. I don't care. I can get banned from LA Fitness and Ballard. If I get into a fist fight, don't stop it. You need to keep going there.
I don't know if that's possible, but I did. It's funny that thought did go through my head. If I was like, am I going to get kicked out of this gym?
Where are you going to have to go then? No, don't.
Planet Fitness?
No, you're going to have to go to that super expensive gym.
Or that.
Can't afford that.
But I really thought to myself at one point, if this escalates, this might be my last day in the gym.
Sam said, same CM. I just had to calm myself down, remind myself I wasn't there.
Yeah.
And Rebecca in Jacksonville said the same thing. She said, yeah, CM, I was just going to say the same. Fired up, even though I wasn't there.
But
let them know you got 100 people ready to go.
But this type of person will rile everybody up. And I love this this message from, where'd it go?
Fred?
Yeah, where'd it go?
Right there. You passed it twice.
I did? Oh, there it is. Fred the Mailman said, my dad is 76 and absolutely would have smacked the guy. Yeah. And
same. My dad turned 78 today.
Your dad would have ruined this kid's life.
With all his rings.
Ruined this kid's life.
Tacoma Swifty's right, though. People like that thrive on that.
Oh, yeah. And one of the reasons I didn't want to get involved, and I stayed out, it was hard. It was very hard not jumping in that situation. Being like, dude, you're an adult. What is wrong with you?
I need to know, people like that, you don't ever get married, right?
Oh, someone's going to marry that
Or
guy.
you married an equally shitty person.
Yeah.
You go on Love is Blind.
I was going to say, all those girls on Love is Blind probably would love this guy. Or at least they wouldn't love each other. They would hate each other enough where they got married. You ever see a couple like that? Like, you guys were never in love. You just found someone that had equal hate in their hearts. And now you guys are together forever. You found someone equally as crappy. But one of the reasons I really needed to stay out of that situation as long as possible was I knew that the second I jumped in, I was going to go from 0 to 100 immediately.
There's no
immediately. Because he wasn't even talking to me, and I was so angry. It's a weird place to also be that angry.
Well, that's
just
what
a bunch of
said.
shirtless dudes and towels.
You're supposed to be calm in the sauna.
Yeah. And I think that's what was most infuriating about him playing his music. I get it. You're in a public space. You can't
Yeah, if it was a
you
bus,
can't control every sound you hear, right? But you're in a place that is it's dark,
there's
it's
literally
quiet, it's
signs.
very small.
There are signs that say, "Don't do that."
Yeah.
That's the kind of person that gets thrown off of an airplane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Hopefully while it's moving.
It's funny because I had a crappy person story too, but it doesn't even match up.
I'm telling you, this is the worst. This person was the worst. You're going to have to wait for your crappy person story until tomorrow when everyone moves on from this one.
No, I think we got to get over it with all at once.
I hope I see him again someday. Maybe this Friday when I go back.
Wait, he didn't say
No,
pretty.
he said, may you, what did he say?
May say, that doesn't even make sense.
So the guy eventually, after the first request for him to stop playing sounds from his phone, the a-hole responded by saying, say please. So the person making the request, the older guy in the sauna, said he did say please. I give him a lot of credit because he definitely swallowed a little bit of his pride just to get through that and said please. And then for that guy to come back and add even more on. Yeah, oh yeah, may you please, or whatever he said. It made no sense.
He just said, "May I smack your?"
Oh my God.
What? But when he walked out and you told those gentlemen that they handled it, well, what were they? What did they say?
Just how much of an a-hole that guy was, and then it turned into like some people are just they're born a-holes, and that person was born an a-hole, and then somehow it morphed into like reality TV and the political climate, and everyone just thinks they can do whatever they want these days, which they're not wrong.
The real world ruined us all. MTV.
It was, man, that guy was the worst. And you know what? The reason I wanted to do that first is we will not leave you with the story of that guy to end this show.
I want to go fight him now.
Yeah.
You have to point him out to me.
If I ever see him, I will. If I ever see him, I'll just take a picture of him. And then when he says, can you not take a picture? I'm going to say, can you please? Can you please STFU?
I'm like, dude, where are you from? I have so many questions. Okay, wait. I'm going to tell my really crappy person.
Oh, you're
really
going
quick,
to? Okay.
Really quick. So let me preface this with, we met the nicest people at Carnival of Cocktails this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
But so many people were coming up to our table. We were giving away hydration packs from No Bad Days. And no, that's the name of Macklemore's song. No Days Wasted.
Yes, No Days Wasted.
They should pair up, honestly.
They should.
So we're giving away hydration packs, and so many people were like, oh my God, yes, I need these. Also, we had stickers for the Morning Show podcast, and some people would take them and be like, oh, what's this? And we tell them. Other people, I was very much like, listen to my mixtape. I was like, we have a podcast, and they'd be like, oh, so cool. What's it about? They take stickers, walk away. Super pleasant. Some woman went strolling by and goes, what are those? And I go, hydration packs. And before I can even finish, she goes, hydration packs? Ugh. And kept walking. And I was like, are you mad that it's not alcohol?
She didn't want to be hydrated.
Like, I had so many questions for her. And I was like, but why?
Yeah, it's a weird reaction. It took me back being at that table, especially before DJ Vega showed up, while we were just like kind of talking about our podcast, giving away those hydration packs. It really brought me back to my radio promo days.
Yeah.
Because we used to end up with so many things at our table that we'd have to give away, and people would treat us like we were the company.
Yeah.
And you get especially there's a direct correlation, right? The more people you meet, the more chances you're going to meet someone who's super weird.
Right. She was the one weird.
She was the weird one.
But if I was walking by a booth and I was like, oh, what's that? And someone said it's powdered poop, I'd say, cool, and keep walking. Like, I wouldn't be like, ew.
It is a good reminder to everyone. There's always the option to just keep going. Like, if you ask a question, you don't like the answer, you can just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
If you think you're interested in something and then you realize you're not, you know what you do? You just keep going.
I hope she had a really bad hangover the next day with no hydration pack.
Probably did. And those people, smart people.
Oh my God, they were
and almost, I would say 99.9% of the crowd that went to Carnival of Cocktails loved.
They were like, oh, yes.
The hydration packs and realized how important they would be that night and the next morning. People were taking boxes of it.
Yeah.
They did, and a lot of people not realizing they could just ask for as many as they wanted.
They were like,
oh, I have 16 friends that are right over there somewhere. Can I grab 16 more? It's
For like
like,
here's
just
a box.
guy, take as many as you want. I don't care.
Yeah,
Enjoy.
that's funny.
Yeah, Karens are still running around everywhere.
They're like
Karen's
wilder than ever.
is Ken the male version?
That's someone said that in here, but I feel like it's not douchey enough. Although I do know a shitty Ken.
Do I know any Kens? There's one Ken that I used to work with on promotions at KTU. Literally the only one I can think of right now. Ken. Yeah. Oh, Chad.
Yeah,
Chad's a good one.
I feel like Barbara's worse than Karen, but I guess
Wait,
what's
we
beyond.
can't. I mean, Karen's beyond. We can't change that.
Are people still naming their kids Karen?
I hope not. My friend's wife is Karen. She's super pleasant.
That's funny.
Not
actually.
even close to being what the Karens have been known for. And it's very tragic because she's so nice.
My ex-boyfriend's mom's name is Karen.
Is she a Karen? B-Dub says the male equivalent of Karen is Matt.
No,
I haven't heard about that one.
that's not true.
Moving on, though, from terrible people, because we are not going to let terrible people ruin our morning, but we will talk about them and rip them apart a little bit. Blue check blues. So you still have your blue check?
Yeah, let's see if I have it today.
Because I had mine this morning. So maybe, was this an April Fool's joke by Elon?
Well,
Because he said that they would run out at the end of March, which means April 1st, right?
well, yeah, I saw everything that was like April 1st. If you don't give us $8, we're gonna take away your check mark.
Yeah.
And I was like, are we all? I literally put out a tweet. I was like, all right, just a question, like friends that followed me with the blue check mark. What are we doing here? Because if we're all gonna do it, I'm just gonna do it. It's $8 a month, and everyone's like, "F that guy." I was like, all right, cool. I don't want to pay $8 a month anyway. And then I still have it, but he only took it away from the failing New York Times.
So then what? So maybe it was just an April Fool's joke and a way for him to take the New York Times' blue check mark away because he doesn't like them.
But also, I'm probably just flying under the radar.
You know, I mean, we're not like
Honestly,
huge
you're gonna
deal.
watch, like, Twitter's just gonna turn into a dumping ground. Like, it's not.
that's what it's been for a while. I like Twitter.
But here's the problem: like, advertisers are pulling their money, so they're bleeding money. Advertisers are taking their money and putting it literally anywhere else, and people are just like scared to post on there because they don't know like what's gonna happen when they do. There's not two-factor authentication unless you actually actively look it up for yourself. Like,
Yeah,
secure yourself.
the text two-factor authentication is now. Is it? Did it happen already? I think it happened in mid-March.
I had got that.
Is behind the paywall for the blue check mark. But the smart thing to do, because it's actually a better way to protect your account, is to get a two-factor authentication app. Which did you end up downloading?
No, I've been for a while.
Oh, okay.
I use Google and I have Authy as well.
I have 2FA, which if you have multiple devices and multiple accounts, 2FAS. Sorry.
See, like, and this is like absurd. Jordan said there's a story where New York Times called out Elon. He retaliated by taking their blue check mark away.
Yeah, and is it annoying? Absolutely. Is it petty? Absolutely. Should a billionaire probably have a little more self-control? Yes, but there's also no reason for him to have self-control anymore because he can literally do whatever he wants.
Elon Musk is the dude in the sauna.
Oh, yeah,
Hondo
absolutely.
P.
Absolutely. That guy's a big fan of Elon, without a doubt. But at the end of the day, the unfortunate truth is it is his company, and he can choose to do whatever he wants. The only thing that we can choose, or the rest of the world can choose to do, is figure out if they want to use his product or not.
Yeah.
And the story that I read recently was that he's already lost $20 billion in the value of Twitter since he took it over, which everyone's like, oh, yeah, that sucks for Elon. All he's going to do is use that when he files his taxes and save $20 billion.
Yep.
It doesn't, money is fake at that point. It doesn't matter.
I know. I use it to see what people are tweeting about TV shows that I'm watching.
No, I still use Twitter I just tweeted this morning about the Morning Show podcast. I interact with a lot of people on Twitter. I'm just not going to pay for it. I don't think it provides enough value to pay for. And it's not like I'm someone who relies on my tweets going viral. So one of the things that paying for the blue check mark does is it helps you get more visibility, which is important. But at the same time, the people who want to follow me choose to follow me. I don't need 8 billion views on Twitter.
What they're going to do is, so in the top of your Twitter, you can like separate by seeing tweets, and it's for you or following. So the people you're following, you can see all their tweets. The For You page used to just be stuff that was viral, stuff that was like picking up speed because people were clicking it, etc. The For You page now is only going to be people that pay for Twitter Blue. The problem with that is some like study came out and said 90 or 95% of the people that have paid for Twitter Blue have under 1,000 followers. So again, followers aren't everything, but under 1,000 generally means you just made your account and no one's following you, not even your fellow classmates in high school. So your For You page is just going to be people that paid $8 a month to tweet trash.
Yeah. I don't even go to the For You page.
I do.
Every now and then I'm there by accident, but I just go to the following, I scroll through, I tweet with some people, and that's about it. And it's interesting that Elon got so much crap for asking for $8 a month for verification. I feel like Zuckerberg, are you okay?
Losing my voice.
I feel like Zuckerberg did not get the same blowback when he offered the same type of subscription.
Because it's not, I'm not going to lose. It's not holding your check mark hostage. It's another level of of Facebook for verified accounts, I believe. Yeah. I don't think anyone can just get it. It's almost like basically paying for security.
No, I think anyone can get it.
Well, either way, it's basically saying, well, if you get hacked, we'll help you.
And yeah, I will say the Instagram version of the paid verification model has seemed to have more benefits to it. And the non-paid version seems to be left alone. Whereas Elon has made your account on Twitter less valuable than it was previous.
Yeah.
It's interesting. I don't know if it matters at all.
I mean, we were very excited when we got our blue check marks. I remember.
On Twitter? Oh, yeah.
I remember we had taken the PATH train into the city. It wasn't morning. I don't know why we were going into the city for something at Z100. And we were on the super tall, still under construction escalator. And we were like, oh, we got verified on Twitter.
Yeah.
And my tweet was, oh my God, I'm a real boy. And my sister texted me. She's like, no one understands what your tweet is. And I was like, no, you don't understand. It's a Pinocchio reference.
W Plan said Elon set the precedent for charging for verification. I do wonder how happy Zuckerberg was once Eli did it first, because all the rage. Elon. I don't know. I said Eli.
You are turning into an older gentleman.
Yeah. Once Elon, I don't know why I said Eli. Once Elon paid for it and took all the heat, Zuckerberg was probably super excited about it.
So far, you said reach at the beach, Chap, and Eli.
I did not say reach. I said reach.
No, everyone knows you said reach.
Everyone's wrong. Everyone's wrong. Alicia from the 215. This is a longer post, so Carla Marie's going to read it.
I sometimes look at celebrity posts and what other celebrities have commented and shown support. Kelsey Ballerini had drag performers in her CMT Awards performance last night, and I wanted to see what other country artists and celebrities commented and showed support, and also who didn't. I believe she said it's easier to see that with the blue check mark.
That is true. Yeah, if you have a blue check mark, you usually go higher in replies. You know what's interesting? You mentioned Twitter having a bunch of advertisers pull out.
Yeah.
And we saw this in radio. So a lot of times what happens is if you lose a lot of clients, and this happened during the pandemic, a lot of companies in radio and in media in general, I don't want to make radio seem like they were the outlier here, they realized the world was changing. They didn't know where it was going to go. They pulled out all of their advertising.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm going to bring up radio in this is because that's what I have a little bit of inside information on. Radio lost 50% of their advertisers in like a 2-month period.
It's crazy.
So half of their revenue generating method,
and that's why
went away.
All of us had to take unpaid vacations.
What they ended up doing to make up for that loss in revenue, they knew they couldn't charge as much for their commercials as they used to be, or their sponsorships as they used to. So they just said, we're going to add way more commercials for a lower price, which is why if you listened to us during the pandemic, it went from 9 minutes, 8, 9, 10-minute spot blocks
to 20
to 17 to 25-minute spot blocks. They were trying to make the same amount of money, just selling more of the same thing for less. And what I realized is Twitter is doing the same thing. And I don't know when they started this, but I've seen way more Twitter ads, and they're in replies now. if you go to like a string
I
of
was like,
replies,
I don't understand what this, and then I was an ad.
there's ads now in replies. So you'll be like, oh my God, I agree. Oh my God, I disagree. Oh my God, I hate you. Tied.
Wendy's chicken sandwich.
Yeah. It's so weird.
Listen, I'm all for monetization.
Yeah.
I think innovating and then finding a way to monetize it is smart. It is what every great company has done from day one. You look at Disney, you look at all these companies, everything is monetized, so it's smart. We, the consumer, have to decide, is this disrespectful to me or is this just a part of capitalism?
Yeah.
Or can actually be both. But
I also think that there has to be value. I feel like we're getting nickel and dimed for everything now.
Yeah, like
I mean,
why am I having to pay for things and getting ads?
like for Uber, for example. Uber needs to figure out their priority pricing with food and rides, because it'll say, oh, here's your standard fee and your standard ride. Pay us $5 more and get picked up 1 minute earlier. That 1 minute is not worth $5.
But you know what I am loving? Take off some money and you can wait 10 more minutes. I'm like, yeah, I'll just pre-plan my trip.
Exactly. We are getting nickel and dime for everything. But moving on from one Elon, I keep saying Elon topic to the next, is AI going to ruin the world? And this is one of those situations where even if I dislike someone, because I dislike someone, I really don't want to agree with them.
Right.
And you talked about this in the morning show podcast. So explain the whole AI letter thing.
So a bunch of very smart or smartasses tech people got together and wrote like this open letter. Two of the most notable people are Elon Musk and Steve Wozniak, who helped invent Apple. The two of them are a part of like the people that signed this letter. And basically the letter says like, hey, listen, all AI creators, all we're asking is a 6-month pause where we all come together and like create safety protocols. Then we go back to creating AI, which I fully believe. But there are people on the other side of it that are like, no, like there are tech issues that need to be fixed with AI. We can't just pause it right now. We can't just stop working on it because it is going to get out of control. And I want to just make sure the network, the organization that like is the nonprofit that really like wrote the letter that they signed, I didn't know existed, and I wanted to get more into it, but sometimes it's hard to really just explain all this in the podcast. What they do is wild. The organization is called Future of Life Institute.
Okay. Is this like a real thing?
And the nonprofit, their whole idea is basically protecting humanity against existential threats. And they're the ones that are like, no, the AI is a threat to humanity.
What else have they protected us from?
I'll check.
This sounds like a made-up thing. This sounds like Samuel L. Jackson walked into Elon Musk's office with an eye patch on and said, we need you to be part of our group.
It's funny that you say that, because when I was writing it, I was going to make like an Avengers joke in there, because I was like, this feels like a Marvel, like Captain America is going to have to come back and they're going to have to fight a fake machine.
So here's my problem.
Which I feel like has happened.
Here's my problem with this AI letter from, some of the biggest names in tech asking to take a pause on the AI front.
Right.
Is at the end of the letter, they basically said, if we can't do this voluntarily, we are going to ask the government to step in.
Yeah.
And this is where my blood starts to boil a little bit. A lot of these tech gurus, these billionaires, will be the first people to yell about communism and socialism the second the government wants to regulate anything that they do. How many times has Elon Musk tried to use the freedom card? Don't tell me what to do. There's my freedom. But all of a sudden, because he can't directly monetize this new AI track that we're on, he will eventually. He'll buy a company that'll do it. But because he's not involved today, all of a sudden, it is okay for Elon and all the other billionaires to ask the government to come and save the day.
It's true.
I believe, here's what I believe. I believe you are allowed to have whatever opinions you want to have. And yes, sometimes they change from time to time when more information is presented. But when you go so far above and beyond any reasonable person would to defend one type of idea, at some point, you got to bring that same energy all the time, not just because it benefits you. And this is where, yes, I agree with the sentiment of what they're saying.
He's a
AI
hypocrite.
does need to be reined in a little bit. I just think the messengers are the wrong people.
Mm-hmm. Well, not Steve Wozniak.
All those billionaires, the last thing
Steve's
they
a good
will
guy.
do, unless
He's in the garage working.
unless they have paid off the politicians, they will fight it tooth and nail. And it's infuriating to me. And Woz was Apple, right?
Mhm.
So do you think if Apple had signed the deal with ChatGPT and not Microsoft, do you think Steve Wozniak would still have the same opinion?
He still has shares, but he doesn't work there.
But he's
not at the Genius Bar.
He's not at the Genius Bar.
Although that would be cool.
If you just walked in, do you think he'd be able to help you at the Genius Bar?
No, I think he needs to go to the Genius Bar for help at this point in time.
But, and this is my point, if Elon owned ChatGPT instead of Microsoft
And
having the
people were
partnership in
like-
OpenAI, do you think that
He'd be
Elon,
like, "They're trying to stop my innovation. They're jealous. They didn't make it."
exactly, he would go on some Twitter rant about how the libs are trying to break him down. And this is my problem. Like, these billionaires are now asking everyone else to help them out when the last thing they ever want to do is be regulated in any way, shape, or form.
It's true. Okay, so
It's infuriating.
I just can't wait for the Congress hearing of listening to them talk about AI.
Oh my God. I mean, the fact that they don't even know how TikTok works.
Wait, did you see though that Italy has banned chat? Is it ChatGPT? One of the AI type things that
OpenAI is the company that runs
Yes.
ChatGPT.
So I think they may have banned that for now because they believe that it's stealing information. I don't know, whatever.
Well, there have been examples of things that AI chats have given back, whether it's ChatGPT or a different
Right.
service, that have basically been just ripped from the internet from someone else's work. And that is something that we're going to have to figure out. The other,
they're saying that it's like if you use it, it's stealing your information. The same way TikTok is.
it's stealing your data.
Yeah.
I got you.
But
Which is true. And this was,
wait, you're saying it's true that ChatGPT steals your information when you use it.
I think, any digital service that you enter information into, the assumption has to be it's saving that information, storing it, and either trading it or selling it.
Okay.
Anything. Which is why you should be cautious about the things you say on the internet, the things you do on the internet, the things you search for on the internet.
Well, I used ChatGPT to plan my niece's bachelor party.
And what happened?
It gave me a pretty cool list of things to do in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, and that's a fine thing, because at the end of the day, does it matter if Google knows or ChatGPT or Microsoft knows that you're planning a trip to Puerto Rico? No, because you're going to book your flight on the internet anyway.
Right.
Like, they're going to have that information at some point. But yeah, always assume. And I was, do you remember when I said I was drunk explaining politics and world news to my cousins after Danielle's
Yes.
party? So if you missed it, my two little cousins were visiting New Jersey after we went to Danielle's surprise birthday party in New Jersey. Came back, and up until 3:00 in the morning, they were just asking me questions about like current events.
They were up till that late?
Yeah.
Oh.
They slept until like noon the next day. It's great.
So did you probably.
I slept until 10, noon, something like that. No, 9 or 10. Anyway, they were asking why the government wants to ban TikTok. And I was just explaining, it's not that they want to ban TikTok specifically, but there are issues with these apps and collecting our data. And the one problem with TikTok, because Instagram does the same thing. TikTok or Twitter does the same thing. The reason that TikTok is the issue is because their parent company is Chinese.
Yes.
And it was really annoying because if you watched any of those hearings on Capitol Hill, it would have been great if our politicians knew how to ask the questions that were actually important, because there was something that needed to be settled or discussed, and they were so bad.
Well, I tweeted we've talked about it before, the Katie Couric and whoever else is in it, the What is Internet
Yeah.
video. And I reshared it this weekend on Instagram, and I was like, This is literally Congress during the TikTok hearing because they're like, oh, what is that A with the swirl around it? Well, I think that means at. And Katie Couric said, that doesn't mean at.
It means around. That's why there's a circle around it.
He's like, yeah, but what does this mean? Blah, 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 at com. At com?
It was good. That's a clip you could probably watch on like a monthly basis it's just wholesome, stupid
internet?
hilarity.
Yeah, it's great. But I found out what this National Institute's doing.
Okay, what
so
are they doing?
Future of Life Institute, the people who wrote the letter to AI, the risks that they focus on as an organization: artificial intelligence, biotechnology. So they say from the accidental release of engineered pathogens to the backfiring of a gene editing experiment, the dangers from biotechnology are too great for us to proceed blindly. Okay, nuclear weapons, climate change, and that's all they do.
But like, do they just complain about things? What do they do? What would you say you do?
They have ongoing projects like mitigating the risk of AI intelligence in nuclear launch, educating about lethal autonomous weapons, strengthening the European AI Act, strengthening the NIST AI risk management framework, Future of Life Institute podcast, world building competition. Oh, wait, hold on. Look at all these white people. Oh, Morgan Freeman's there.
Morgan Freeman's on the board?
Okay, so the board is Alan Alda.
I don't know who that is.
This other nerdy guy. This guy, Elon Musk.
Okay.
Some other guy. One girl. One woman. And two women and Morgan Freeman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 people. Well, 2 are women and 1 is Morgan Freeman.
All right. I don't know who any of these people are, though.
The actor from MASH is Alan. I knew the name.
Wait, Alan. Oh, I know who that is. I've seen that guy's face. Huh. Oh, Christoph Koch, one of the Koch brothers? Is that the same? Or is that a different Koch? Koch. Man, what a weird world we live in. What a weird, weird world.
Well, if Morgan Freeman believes in it, I believe in it. But I can't imagine a world where Morgan Freeman and Elon Musk believe in the same thing. Like, imagine, I can just see Morgan Freeman like, sit down, you idiot, to Elon. Imagine Morgan Freeman with that guy in the sauna.
Yeah, I don't know what Morgan would have done.
Or you know what? I'd much rather imagine Joe Pesci with the guy in the sauna.
I'd want to see Denzel Washington with the guy. And if you missed it earlier, the first thing we talked about was the worst people I've ever seen. And he was just a gym D-bag in the sauna playing music out loud. When he left, there were 3 of us left in the sauna after he walked out. The youngest of us, who was probably in his mid-20s, had a theory that he was editing a TikTok video. Because then the older guy said, yeah, he looked at his phone and he had a video of himself working out and it said, F yeah, on across the video. So he was probably listening to whatever song he wanted to add to his TikTok or Reels video. And as anyone knows, it just repeats that couple seconds over and over, which is pretty maddening.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I would have liked to see Denzel Washington, because Denzel would have intimidated that guy and gave him a great speech at the same time.
Chris is right. The Rock. Not Dwayne Johnson.
Smack the taste out of that jabroni's mouth. That's what The Rock would have done.
Give him a people's elbow.
He would have given him a nice room on a hotel at the corner of Jabroni Ave and Know Your Role Boulevard.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, Denzel and Training Day. That would have been good.
Jason Statham.
Oh, that man's scary.
Yeah.
The bald head, the British accent, the low voice.
He's so hot, though.
Is he, or is it all the other thing? Is it like his characters that make him hot? Like if you saw that guy, if he was your checkout guy at Trader Joe's.
He's in his little Hawaiian shirt. So hot.
Oh, man. What a time.
So do you think that guy was speaking out because he didn't think you were like strong and could beat him up?
No, I think that guy was just a piece of garbage. I think he was just a piece of garbage. Mm-hmm. He was in it. Part of me wanted to go to him and really turn this whole thing on its head and say, hey, what's wrong?
Yeah.
It can't be the TikTok video. Something else is bothering you right now. You're taking it out on everybody, and it's not fair.
You should have.
I should have. Just completely, just reverse psychology. He wouldn't know what to do. He'd probably punch me.
Yeah.
So, what do we say, Carla Marie? Time to get out of here?
I think so. I gotta blow my nose. It's like dripping out.
Did you not sneeze once today?
No.
I got a whole bless you emote
I know.
ready to go.
Not during the show.
And
I
no
did before.
one's been able to use it because you did not sneeze. It's kind of messed up.
Yeah.
Thank you for hanging out with us. We will be back here tomorrow on the Morning Show podcast and on this show as well. There is a new episode of the Morning Show podcast available wherever you get your podcasts.
And Sonali, we're gonna end on that. She said next time, be like, "Are you hungry? Do you need a
Do you
snack?"
need a snack? Do you need a Snickers?
Oh, maybe yeah. He's not himself without a Snickers.
What do you think about the bless you emote, Carla Marie?
I love it. I just got to sneeze now. Well, I don't have to.
This was a revision. Originally, it wasn't like oozy enough, like boogery enough. So I had him add some more boogers to it.
Okay, cool.
Wait. Sub goal met 475 subs.
Damn.
Thank you very much.
Good thing we stayed.
That was technically March's sub goal,
But this counts.
but now we can start one for April. What do you think I should? What
480.
480? All right, I'll make it 480. So tomorrow we will start the journey to 480. Again, thank you very much for hanging out with us. We will see you tomorrow.
Peace out, Cub Scouts.
Later.
What?
Wrong
Why'd you
one.
do that?
That's the one I want to put on.